Donald Trump coming out slamming CNN, saying basically this is nothing but state media. And yeah, you're not going to get much out of this. Not much at all, because for goodness sakes, the whole thing's taped. She's not doing it alone. It's going to be scripted. Watch him here in an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail.
First thing I want to do is say, why isn't it live? It's not a live interview. It's an interview that's going to be taped and then edited and then put out. So that's not even an interview. Then she's doing it with her vice president sitting there. So she's not very smart. When they ask her a question that she can't answer, she'll just look at him. You answer it. I can't imagine. Everyone's waiting for her to do an interview because she's been a very big failure on interviews before, as you know, a tremendous failure. And she brings in the vice president, who, by the way, isn't so good himself. He's been a disaster, this guy. He has been a disaster. His state is in a state of shock from his governorship. He's been a horrible governor. You look at employment numbers, you look at the people that are leaving, you look at all of the problems. Minneapolis is a burned down. They never built it back. It was terrible. He's been a terrible governor. It was a crazy pick. But he's sitting with her to help her out. So this is not the kind of a person we need as president.
In other words, she's running for the presidency. You can sit and do your own damn interview, lady. Please. Answer the questions. But maybe she really can't. I'm not sure that he can either. I'm going to be perfectly, he's such a dunce. I'm not sure he can either, but, maybe he'll tell us more about his socialism. I'm like, wait a second, the guy has been earning six figures for how many years, and he hasn't managed to save anything? Like anything at all? So he's either a complete total spendthrift, or he doesn't believe in ownership of things. He doesn't own his house. He doesn't own one single equity, not one single stock. Communist, much? I guess he's really drinking the Kool-Aid. So I'm like, he's really stupid. He's really just, a spendthrift. I don't know. Or he's a total commie. Probably all of the above. But it's a little weird to be well into your 60s, have been making so much money for so long, and you never save a dime. I'm sorry. And you're going to be our vice president. Gee, you know what? I think I want to go with the billionaire after all. They're trying to paint him as the billionaire. And I love it because what they miss on this whole thing, and I know Donald Trump, I've known him for many, many years. In fact, the first time I ever met him was when he was filing for bankruptcy protection on his Atlantic City casinos. He filed for bankruptcy, and I'll never forget it. I met him and introduced, hello, Mr. Trump, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. He shakes my hand. He's like, isn't this great? Isn't this great? And I'm like, wait, you filed for bankruptcy protection. But his point was, he had the protection of the bankruptcy laws on his side. So glass half full, shall we say, glass half full. I've known him for a long time. And he's the kind of guy that, speaking of Bloomberg, when they would put out the Bloomberg list of the top billionaires and how much money they had, he'd be like, no, I'm really supposed to be there. I'm this, I'm that. He wanted to make sure everybody knew he had more money. So most politicians are trying to be somewhat, low key about this. Trump had way more money than Mitt Romney. And by the way, he was going to let you know it all day long. And so it makes it harder for them to attack him as the billionaire because he's like, hell yeah, it's my strength. I'm the billionaire who wants to make sure that everybody else in America has a shot at becoming a billionaire too. And that's part of what's so intrinsic, if you would, to the American dream. We all want a shot at doing better. And so for Kamala Harris to come along and say, okay, I'm going to rip that out from under, because, by the way, I actually want to tax your unrealized capital gains. Oh, my gosh. We're trying to keep Trish's blood pressure under control. By the way, coming up on 76 Research, right as this show ends, you should follow it. Let me see if I can put it in the chat, or let me actually just put it right here on screen. The handle is @76Research. So we have a YouTube channel. It's @76Research. We're going to talk about the capital gains thing. We're going to talk about NVIDIA. We're going to talk about Apple. We've got a lot to talk about, actually. We're going to talk about this poll as well. Go over to that YouTube channel if you would. Again, it is @76Research. And if I can do this and talk at the same time, I'm going to put it right here. So @76research.com. There it is. Go and subscribe to that channel if you would as well. So subscribe here, subscribe at 76 Research. Go look at the website, 76research.com, because there's a ton of information for you there. And if you're investing or interested in investing, you really should be signed up. You can use code word dollar, DOLLAR. It's a back to school special. You'll get the newsletter for just $1 for the first couple of months, and then it's $9.95 thereafter. Anyway, I mean, really pretty incredible to see what they're trying to do to this country right now. And incredible, disheartening, but I go back to how we led the program, and that's on the new poll that came out, which shows you, they're trying, but they're not having much success in terms of the psych op that they're pushing on America.